If I told you that most businesses failed because of one simple problem, that's a lie. It's not a simple problem. Financial systems is the number one cause of companies not surviving. Did you know that 82% of businesses fail because of cash flow problems? Because they didn't have a cash flow forecast, because they didn't understand where their money was coming and going, they ran out of money. They say cash is king. Cash is not king. Cash flow is king, at least for a business. So if you don't know how much money you're gonna have at the end of the day, then you can't plan at the end of the day. So the question is, are your financial systems holding you back, or are they helping you grow? Do they risk setting you up for failure, or do they assist in helping long-term results? Many business owners think that they're actually too small to need financial management systems. So many businesses think that because they've just started, because they're so new, that they don't need to start tracking this stuff. But the truth is, I promise you, the sooner you put these things into place, the more successful you're gonna be. Having these systems in place is so important. Start building them. We're gonna show you. I know it's overwhelming to think about the numbers and the finances and the cash and the credit and the accounts receivable. It's so boring to think about all this, especially when you're running the operations of a business. You're already doing something that you love. That's why you started, hopefully, that's why you started this business. You're already doing something that you enjoy, that's making you money. And now you gotta sit down and do math, talk about money and spreadsheets, and you gotta do all this other stuff. It's overwhelming. I promise you, you're not alone. Every business owner does this. Every business owner struggles. Okay, that's a lie. It's not every business owner. Some other people really like talking about the money and the spreadsheets. I'm a nerd. I love spreadsheets. I'll talk about spreadsheets with you all day. My niece called me in the day and was like, hey, I need to learn Excel. And I was like, oh my God, I would love to teach you Excel. But I'm a nerd. Not everybody's a nerd. Some people are doing what they already want to do. And so talking about the money can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. There are some simple processes that you can start putting into place that is really going to help your business accelerate. Okay? For one, you got to start keeping accurate records. And the sooner you keep accurate records, the better off you're going to be. Listen, the whole world is data driven. Everybody in the world now runs everything based off of data. And if you're not keeping accurate records, then you're not working with information that's actually going to be helpful. If I give you a map of Alabama and I tell you how to get from Orlando to Miami, you're not gonna be useful. It's not accurate data. It's not helpful information. You need to be keeping accurate records so that way you can track these things later. Even if the data isn't there to start analyzing now, you can look back on it in a year or two when it is relevant, and it will help you to get better predictions, better analytics, better information. But you've got to start keeping that data now, right? So incredibly important. The next thing you got to do is create a cash flow management system, right? Whether you want to download some kind of software, whether you are just going to do it on Excel or in paper. I don't recommend paper. Paper gets lost. Paper is a bad idea, but you could do it, right? And cash flow management, it's not as complicated as a lot of people think it is. You take your bank account balance, ideally your business bank account balance, and ideally your business and your personal are separate, but you take your bank account balance for the week, you take the amount of money that you're expecting to bring in, you add that, and then you subtract your expenses, both your operating expenses and your cost of goods sold. Right? And if you don't know the difference, cost of goods sold is variable expenses. You only pay cost of goods if you're actually doing work, right? It's the cost of goods sold, but the cost of doing work. And then your operating expenses are expenses that you're going to pay either way. So you take your bank account balance, you add in your expected revenue, you subtract all of your expenses, and then you have your cash flow expectation for the next week. You then put that as your expected bank account balance, you add in your revenue, you subtract your expenses, and you have your week 2 expected bank account balance. And that's how you build your cash flow. And you do it out 13 weeks, right? Not everybody likes 13 weeks. We like 13 weeks. Personally, I think 13 is a lucky number. My parents were married on Friday the 13th, right? My birthday is actually the 13th, so it happens on Friday all the time, and I'm really excited when it happens on Friday the 13th. So 13 is a good number for me and my family, and if you don't think it is, your problem, right? You do 13 weeks. You need to establish a budget and you need to stick to it. I know you don't like it here, but you need to build a budget. You need to build a budget and you need to stick to it. Now, that doesn't mean a budget can't change. That doesn't mean that you can't grow and you can't expand. The whole point of a budget is to start finding your priorities. Me and my wife like to eat out. We're gonna eat it. We're gonna eat out. We're gonna do it. Okay? As much as we talk about it every week, we need to start saving money. We need to start cutting back on the amount we go out to eat. We're not going to. I can tell you right now, we're not going to. Even if we go out less, when we do go out, we just go to nicer places. And we still spend the same amount of money. It's ridiculous. But we know that's a priority for us. We know we're gonna do it. And because we know we're gonna do it, we budget for it. We plan for it. We were able to work that in to not then have a cash flow detriment at the end of the month. You need to be doing the same thing. You need to be building your budget so that you can identify your list of priorities, and then you need to be tracking how accurate you were to set budget so that way you know if you need to make changes. You know, your business is evolving just like you are. You're gonna be making changes. There's no way around it. At some point, you're gonna start increasing or decreasing certain numbers. You're gonna add in extra pieces to the budget, but you need to be setting those priorities, and then you need to be tracking how well you are at keeping those priorities, okay? Number 4, you need to start leveraging financial metrics, okay? You gotta start tracking these things. You gotta start tracking your gross profit margin, your net profit margin, your accounts receivable, your accounts payable. You gotta start tracking these metrics. We have businesses whose accounts receivable are out of control. They leave so much money on the table because they are not collecting them. Can you imagine if you weren't collecting them and you weren't tracking them? If you didn't even know, if you didn't even have a list of your accounts receivables and you were about it calling your clients once a month to collect on those receivables, or even once a week to collect on those receivables, you have no money. Your cash flow is dead. You're done. It's over. If you're not going to collect the money for the work you do, you're working for free. Well, why are you in business? So you got to start tracking. You got to start keeping accurate information. Then you need to start a cash flow management system. Then you need to establish and keep a budget. And then you need to start tracking metrics. Okay? That's where you start. You don't got to do it all at once, right? Start piece by piece, right? Do one at a time. Get your accurate record keeping, right? Start practicing that. Start getting that in place. Right? Once you have that in place, then you can actually build that cash flow management. It all leads one into the other, right? You're gonna start keeping accurate records, which is gonna allow you to start building that cash flow management, which is gonna help you better build a budget, which is then gonna help you start tracking these records. But you gotta do it. You gotta get started. If you don't get started, then you just walk around blind in the dark. All right? It's not helpful. Setting up financial systems is where you gotta start. You have to start. You don't have a choice. You gotta start there. It's not where you end. In the next video, we're going to start talking about how to start analyzing some of this information to start working on your behalf. Whether you want to grow, whether you want to become more efficient, whatever it is that you're looking to do, the real power comes from analyzing and making data-driven decisions, right? So in our next video, we'll start exploring that. Somebody's going to talk about that. But my name is Christian. I'm with Mills Knows Bills. If you have any questions, give us a call.